Everybody, thanks for watching. Just a quick reminder that Stock Market Final is now available. Make sure you guys grab that video. You know, I usually put out Stock Market for $89.99. I'm gonna do something different for the first 24 hours. For everybody who grabs it, it will come with the other stock market videos. Just like I did the last video, when you guys grab this, like I did with frequency and vibration, when you guys grab this new stock market video, it will come with the first 3 videos as well for the next 24 hours. And it will not be $89.99, it's going to be $39.99 for the next 24 hours. So make sure you guys grab it quick. It's not going to last long. So I'm going to do this for 24 hours so you guys can grab it at that price. And yeah, we got into a lot of stuff in the new stock market video. I get a lot of questions about AI and everything like that, but it's stuff I wanted to get into in the live stream. We get into in the new stock market video, of course, AI. So AI is taking over everything. I know a lot of guys that's into the stock market are super excited about that. But of course, as I always do in my stock market videos and in all my videos, I always get into history. It's a history that has taken place that we have seen that's leading up to the history that we're about to step into, the future, I should say, and it's basically the same MO. So it's a lot of stuff that happened right around the time in 2016 when Trump became president that's happening again, and that's how stuff happens with them. It's this repetitious pattern that we see, and it just so happens now that when he's running for presidency again that we see the same thing coming into play. But it goes back to World War II. It goes back to the establishment of the United States, and it's something we get into in the video because a lot of people got to realize that, yeah, we know about the 13 colonies. We know about the southern states, what have you, but people forget that a lot of the other countries, the main powers, controlled the United States, and they had territories here. A lot of people don't realize that we bought Alaska from Russia for $7 million. I'll talk about all this in the stock market final. So we get into all this because that history is leading up to something that you guys got to pay attention to. So it's a lot to get into in that video, but I went through it, quickly. It's only about an hour video or like 45 minutes, what have you, but it's a good video. You guys want to watch it. Yes, I do put out stock that you guys should invest in, and you probably already invested in them, but a lot of people have no clue about some of these stocks. But if you're paying attention to the market and what AI is doing and expansive AI is doing, it's doing so much. It's changing the game on a fast level. And, with programs, what OpenAI is doing is amazing. Google, Microsoft is putting a lot of money up. You have just so much going on, and what this stuff is able to do is ridiculous. It's crazy. So when you guys pay attention to what's coming up, we're going to get into it a lot more in upcoming videos as far as the new stuff that's coming out. I'm a big tech head, as you guys know, but I've been keeping up with a lot of this stuff, and it's just mind-boggling the level of sophistication, or should I say intelligence, that these AI programs are basically putting out. If you guys are using Chat GPT, you understand what I'm talking about. This program is free, and they have a paid version that's better, it's worth it. But I mean, it's basically like talking to a person. You ask it a question, and you type a question, it will give you an answer you can understand. It will type it out for you to read. This stuff can break down code, it can fix code, it can give you code, all kinds of crazy stuff. It is the future. It's going to take away the time it takes to develop a lot of this software and programs or what have you, to build games, to do so much stuff. This new technology is going to revolutionize the world. It's going to change everything. They're calling it the new .com bubble, so pay attention. We know what happened with that. So we get into all this stuff in stock market, but yeah, I want to touch on that real quick before we get into this video and let you guys know what's going on. And shadow ban, whatever you want to call it, it's so real what's happening, and how a lot of people are not seeing what I'm posting and putting out, and even people not even getting emails. Like, it's ridiculous. So I'm working on this. This is why I'm trying to do my own platform. I'm trying to do everything on Merkabah Academy, but it's tough because there's still a lot of people who don't even know about Merkabah Academy, believe it or not. Even though I put the freaking website down there on the screen, but there's a lot of people who are not on there because it's not, it's popular as YouTube, of course, and other social media platforms. But it's a platform that if we all get around it and start using it, and I can build it the way I need to build it, having the support, then it'll be something, a place where we really want to be to get the information that we want. But you know, it's a lot of posers on here, a lot of people faking the funk that's not really conscious, that's saying they're conscious because conscious is cool right now. So we got to deal with those people, and there's a lot of you. So yeah, for the people who ask about stock market and who are really into this shit, the video is for you. But also for my history people, my history buffs, and people that's into the history and the knowledge of all this stuff, this video is also for you, because we get into that as well, because it must be understood for you to understand what's happening today. It's a big deal. So yeah. Yes, everything's going out. Flash drive's going out. I explained what happened, what's going on with books. We're still waiting on everything for that, but they will go out as soon as they are available to go out. And of course, we are still working on Merkabah Academy. Should be ready by tomorrow, or it should be completely updated. There's a lot going into it, so stand by for that. So everybody who got the Never Pay Again membership or what have you, you got the link for all the videos and everything. So your account, if it's not updated already, it will be updated once the site is finished being updated. Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting to say this shit every time I do a video. Oh my goodness. Please make sure you are registered on Merkabah Academy before you do anything. Now, if you can't get on and register for whatever reason, because you're working on the site, because you could be working on that part, don't worry about it. But if you can get on and register first, register. But if you can't, don't worry about it. Once you make the purchase, we'll know who you are and we'll update your site automatically. So when the site does go back on and launch, you check it tomorrow and check the day after that. Then make sure you register if you're not already registered. Just like it makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to email us about any issues or trying to get videos or what have you. Also, Never Pay Again members. If your Podia link is messed up for you to download the videos, you know, all the other previous videos, make sure you shoot us an email and just, say need new Podia link or something to that effect. Because we know who you are, who Never Pay Again members, we can match it up. And we'll send you a link to all the videos, what have you, except for the last two ones right there. They're only available for purchase, which you guys got a link for $9.99 for those. If you need the link, email us so we can send you the link. So I would put it on here, but it's only for Never Pay Again members. So make sure you guys email us if you did not get that link to get the latest two videos. Now, of course, the big question is this video. Is this video going to be on Merkabah Academy? It will, as soon as we finish updating the site. And yeah, people ask about live streaming on Merkabah Academy. Of course, that is the goal. So that's one of the things we're working on the site. So it's easier. I don't have to deal with their shit. You understand? So I gotta wait for YouTube to let everybody know. And really the people that I want to talk to is the people that's on Merkabah Academy. Because if you are a member, if you Never Pay Again member or just registered on there, you're the people who I really want to talk to because you actually give a shit. Like I said, it's a bunch of posers on here and people just on here trying to act conscious when they're not. But if you're on the site, I know you're serious about your shit. So I would rather live stream directly to my site than come on YouTube and deal with a bunch of boo-boos and ungrateful people and Christians and Muslims or what have you that's talking shit in the comments. So yeah, that's what's coming. So eventually, what's going to happen? Well, soon, once we finish the site, it's going to be available for me to do live streams on Merkabah Academy, exclusively on Merkabah Academy, and it's going to be a lot. I'm going to do live lectures as I've been talking about before, and I'm going to do live events on Merkabah Academy for Never Pay Again members. So it's important to make sure you guys are up to date with your accounts. And I'll do another video once, of course, as I always do, once the site is complete, because we're going to go through the new stuff, the new features or what have you, and talk about the live stream and everything and how that's going to work. It's going to be free, of course, for Never Pay Again members. And if I need to do a live stream for everybody, I'll do for everybody. But Never Pay Again members exclusively will get live streams, and I'll do live lectures I want to do on Merkabah Academy. I'm going to probably do a couple live lectures on YouTube, to just get into some stuff live. And I'll let you guys know ahead of time on that, but we'll see how it goes. If I still have problems, if it persists with getting everybody the notification about what's happening with the YouTube live stream, then I'll just do it exclusively on Merkabah Academy, because that way at least I know all the emails will go out, all people get the emails. So yeah, a lot going on, a lot coming up, and like I said, I'm here to stay. It's going to be non-stop new videos, non-stop stuff coming from me. And again, I'm ending off a lot of these series, which is why I'm putting up the rundowns so you guys can understand what happened and what took place, and they are important. So yeah, I'm going to do the the sale again for the pagan membership is already up. Same thing with the Merkabah catalog. It's up for everybody who hit me up who didn't even know it was out. So appreciate you guys' support and patience on everything, and everybody sticking with me and holding it down, and everybody who participated in the live stream. My first live stream, that shit was fun. Couple boo-boos in there, a lot of amazing good questions. You guys are fucking genius, smart people asking amazing questions. Shout out once again to Ace Cloud, April, and everybody who's been helping Merkabah out behind the scenes and looking out for me and my well-being and stuff that I was having trouble with. Especially Ace Cloud, because like without him I wouldn't be here, to be honest. So he really looked out and helped me out with a lot of things. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody who's just been super supportive on everything. But we got a lot to get into. It's a lot coming up this year. We got a fucking Olympics to get through. We got a presidential election to get through. It's a bunch of shit. So much celestial shit going on with the planets. It's going to be a crazy year. You see how hot it is here in Vegas? It's super fucking hot here. It's crazy. We're going to get into that because there's more to that. But yeah, let's get into this video, and thanks for watching. Let's get into the video. So now, before ancient Kemet was conquered, before, all that happened with the Persians and the Greeks and everything like that, when Egypt still was being ruled by the Egyptians, what was the rest of Africa doing? And this is the thing. A lot of people don't think about that. We always talk about Kemet, ancient Kemet, but we never get into what exactly the rest of Africa was doing. I mean, Africa is a huge continent. So the rest of the Africans had to be doing something around that time. A lot of people like to think that they were just primitive, and nothing was going on. Now, the ancient Africans had their own practices of what we call magic, of course. And if you go into Home or Benin, you find the cradle of voodoo. Now, of course, TV has scared everybody away from voodoo, made people think that it's devil worship, or, these people are evil and they doing something crazy and stuff like that. And we know that people fear what they are too lazy or too scared to take the time to understand. Now, the gods of voodoo are basically nature, the gods of nature. If you watch my Saturn Satan series, then in voodoo, they worship Dambella. Now, Dambella is this serpent god. They call it the god of wisdom, light, energy, and balance. We're going to come to Dambella in that series and talk about Dambella. It's one of the times you will see the actual black serpent or black being cast as a serpent. But, you have some of the main gods in voodoo, Mawalisa, and Legba or Papa Legba. Now, Mawalisa represents male and female energies. They personify the sun and the moon. Together, they create the hermaphrodite bisexual god that symbolizes divine energy or divine unity. Now, in voodoo, twins are worshipped. Twins are a big deal. So, I'm a twin. I got a twin sister. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But, they personify the sun and the moon. So people who really get into voodoo will understand what's going on and how this is really about energy, as we're going to get into. Then you understand the worship of these certain gods. It's just like I tell you in previous videos about how they use things, so when you look at, like Papa Legba and, Mawalisa and, these physical things that they use to represent spiritual things, it's how they tell the story. As I was saying before, like Horus and Osiris and stuff like that, you got to understand they represent principles. These are not beings that actually exist. They had to make them beings so you can understand what's going on. It's the only way they can explain it. So it's just like Jesus. I can't just tell you, you are this being, you are energy, you can do this. I have to give it to you in a way you can understand. So it's like me telling you a story and using stick figures to tell the story. You got to really wrap your head around this, because if you don't understand this and you start looking at voodoo on the surface and looking at the things that go on, of course, to you, it's going to look weird. It's going to be scary, but you need to understand what this stuff represents and what's really going on. They show this in a certain way and they take it out of context to fool you, to scare you, and you're going to understand why in this video. Then we have Papa Legba. Now, most of you know who Papa Legba is. Everybody knows who Papa Legba is if you study this stuff. You've probably seen him in movies a bunch of times and didn't realize who he was. Now, Papa Legba is the guardian of the spiritual gate, or the door to the spiritual world. He guards it. He is the god of the crossroads. Now, every voodoo ritual begins with invoking him and ends by saying goodbye to him. Now, he guards that spiritual pathway. Even if you wanted to communicate with, energies or spirits on the other side, you got to go through Papa Legba first. He is also the messenger, so he can interpret to you what the spiritual world is trying to tell you. Now, it's one thing to, get a message or, try to communicate with the spiritual world. But if you want the spiritual realm to do something for you on this physical plane, Papa Legba always requires a blood sacrifice. Think about that. This is why you see in voodoo, they sacrifice chickens and goats and stuff like that, with the blood, they, wring it out or whatever. And they rip out the tongue and they burn it, and they use the tongue to figure out if the ritual actually worked or hit its mark or not. This is why they do that. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's crazy, but you eat chicken, so be quiet. But this is what they do. When you get into this, as I said, and I'm going to say this because I want you to understand what this stuff, you got to understand what's going on and stop letting TV get in your head and make you think this stuff is some kind of weird, crazy stuff when these people do far more sick things than that. I mean, I think shooting a deer or a buck and cutting out its heart and biting it and drinking its blood is something far more sick because they do that for nothing, for sport. So think about that. Now, when you see them do these rituals and stuff like that, you got to understand that in voodoo, it's always for, of course, a purpose. And in most cases, I think in almost every case, when they're done, they usually consume the entire animal, the goat or the chicken. So now, is this stuff really real? Is voodoo actually doing something? I know a lot of you skeptics will be like, man, it seems crazy. And it's like, what's the purpose? You got to understand, they've been doing this for thousands of years. Think about that. You don't do something and practice it thousands of years if it doesn't work. And a lot of people are just really intrigued about, voodoo, magic, witchcraft, the law of attraction, what have you. And that has to do largely because of, the entertainment industry, movies, music, TV, popular culture, everything that we have been seeing from, Satanists and these voodoo movies and all kinds of witchcraft movies, everything we have been seeing over the decades that deals with these themes. And it has given people the false understanding about what this stuff really is about. Now, we go into the realm of Hollywood and what, Hollywood has magic and, the whole glitz and glamour and, the special effects or what have you. And people really mix this stuff up with voodoo and witchcraft and magic or what have you. And a lot of people, they stuck with that understanding of it. The whole TV reveal of magic. So, things popping out of thin air and, all of the crazy, powerful things we see these wizards and witches doing in movies. This is the understanding that people come away with when they look at this stuff. And it's a false understanding. So when people want to get into what this stuff really is about, a lot of them have this idea that when you get into it, you're going to somehow find true, real magic like on TV. A lot of people believe that once they really get an understanding of this stuff and they really know about it, that they're going to be able to somehow do real magic. And a lot of people are delusional. So you have to just, take into consideration one, if it really was like on television, as far as, voodoo and magic or what have you, by now you would have seen somebody come forward with amazing powers. I'm talking about like real amazing, like able to keep away armies, militaries with their power. And, that has not happened. You see magicians, you see people like David Blaine, you see people doing these magic shows, like Chris Angel or what have you. And you see them do stuff as far as an entertainment show about magic. And they give you the illusions and everything like that. But for the most part, of course, this stuff is trickery. It's all tricks. smoke and mirrors or what have you. The guy didn't come out with the whole magic reveal, TV show for no reason. He really wanted to show people, hey, this stuff is not what you think it is. But there's a different side of it all that I don't want to get you confused about what I'm saying. That is more powerful, and it deals more with controlling people. That's the secret right there. So everybody got this whole misconception and this whole idea about voodoo and magic and everything as far as, poof, I can make a truck disappear and I can fly or what have you. It's all about controlling people. This is what it's really about. The manipulation of a person's mind, their energy, and what they do, their actions. That's the major thing. That is magic, voodoo, witchcraft in essence. How you manipulate a person's actions, their energy, what they do. And when we finish with this video, you're going to really truly understand this stuff and how it affects us every day. 100%. And it's really deep and it's crazy when you really get into it. So as I talked about before, we look back at, the Africans and all these rituals from the Buddhists and everybody doing so many different things that we classify as weird, spooky, crazy stuff when we look at these rituals or what have you. But we describe, we gave them names. We describe them as many different weird things as far as, rituals and witchcraft or whatever it is. But again, understand that to the ancients, this stuff was natural. It was absolutely natural. And let me repeat that. This stuff was natural, really natural. So we, again, gave it names. But when you go back and you look at what these people were doing, and if we was to, again, ascribe them names as far as voodoo, witchcraft, and magic or what have you, we will be talking about energy, frequency, and vibration. Sound. It's just that simple. This is what this stuff entails. This is what it's all about. And when you really get into it and start to look at what the secrets of it is and what these people have figured out thousands of years ago, it's going to make a lot more sense. So now if I ask you to give me a sound at a certain frequency, at a certain rate or a certain vibratory frequency, then a lot of people would be looking for instruments. They would be looking for machines to try to figure out how I'm going to calculate the frequency and try to get the right hertz to give you, what you want. But again, for the ancients, this stuff was natural. This was natural stuff. This is natural law. And when you understand what we're talking about when we say natural law, nature, everything in nature is dealing with energy, vibration, frequency, sound. All of this stuff is mathematics, everything. And we talked about this before with the Fibonacci sequence, how we can find it in nature and everything, how we can find it in the human body. So again, when you start getting into this stuff, remember, we talked about this. It's all math. It's all energy, frequency, and vibration. That's all it is. So while we have lost the understanding of this, and the ancients clearly had it, we have to go through so much to learn, to relearn, and really understand this stuff. But to them, this was second nature. It was just normal to them. And it's stuff that they did to actually reach the required frequency, pitch, sound, vibration to obtain, the right level that they needed to perform rituals, to get things to where they needed to be. Absolutely natural to these people. Still to this day, they perform this stuff naturally, understanding how to do so. So when you look at everything in existence, every human entity, everything that is, everything has a vibratory frequency. Everything has a vibratory frequency. Everything in these vibratory frequencies, all these things that's, making these vibratory frequencies give off in reality a vibratory pattern, a shape. So just like in cymatics, when you have the vibration and the sound, the frequency, applied to the plate, to the base of what the sand is on, you make these patterns. So you have that frequency, that sound, that vibration that's going to give you this vibratory pattern. Everything has a unique pattern. So basically, if we took the way that your body is vibrating right now and applied it with cymatics, as far as using it on a base with sand or salt or what have you, your unique body vibratory frequency would create a pattern, a unique pattern, plain and simple. So when you understand that, you go back and look at, Witchcraft, when they put the whole pentagram of salt with the circle around the 5-pointed star, what have you, on the ground. And they was making so many different patterns and shapes with salt. Remember how salt is uniquely, coupled with witchcraft? This is what they was doing. So you have with Voodoo, you have the VV or the Vive. The Vive is what we call the vibratory pattern. It's what they use in Voodoo to summon the spirits or the Loa. So you'll see them first use salt or flour, sand sometimes to create the Vive. And the Vive will be in a unique pattern that is going to basically be used to summon the Loa. And you look at a lot of these Vives, they have unique patterns ascribed to unique spirits or Loas. And this is what it's about. So we're talking about, again, frequency, vibration, sound. And they understand that the energy that they're going to try to conjure up to summon these Loa is going to create this pattern. So you create the pattern, and now you need to apply the energy to try to summon these Loa. It's a ritual that has been done, for a long time. And a lot of people have absolutely no clue what this stuff is about as far as it going back to energy, frequency, and vibration, because of course, to them, this stuff is just natural. When we look at magic, you have sigils or sigil magic, where they basically apply the same principle. In sigil magic, you see the sigils, the signs, and these signs are going to be ascribed to unique energies. So with Voodoo, if you want to summon Papa Legba, here is his Vive, and you can summon Papa Legba, and you have so many different, again, Vives to basically call on different Loa. So these are basically the vibratory pattern of these energies. It is the physical representation of the energy itself. So when we say, that symbols have power, words have power, this is what it's going back to. It's going back to the understanding that, one, you have a vibratory frequency and a vibratory pattern ascribed to every single physical thing, period. So when the physical is gone, you have the energy left. So since the physical is gone and you want to summon this energy, you have to create the physical. So if the physical was here and it was vibrating, this is the pattern it would make. So again, if you know the pattern, then you make the pattern. Now you need to match the frequency. You need to match the energy and vibration. Why? We talked about this before, energy, frequency. If you haven't seen, by the way, frequency and energy videos, definitely stop watching and go and see those. Makes a lot more sense. But it's important because you have to what? You have to match the frequency and vibration to what? Resonate. Big word of the day, people. We're going to get into resonate. And when you got that whole understanding from the frequency DVD, resonate is how you get the power. It's how you match what you're looking for. Resonate is how you bring things into your existence, into your realm, into your energy. So when you start to resonate and put out a resonant frequency, you're going to attract everything that is like that frequency. So again, as I couple with hip hop music and everything, when you have that kind of energy put into, your being, and you start resonating on those frequencies and putting out that energy, this is what you attract. So you have people who is caught up in the hip hop culture, attracting the hip hop culture to their lives. They start dressing a certain way, acting a certain way, talking and walking a certain way, going to clubs and hanging out with certain people. And they attract this because this is the frequency, the vibratory frequency they are on. So when they take in these frequencies and resonate with it. They begin to resonate with it and attract this stuff into their lives. And again, this stuff is made to be destructive to your life, which is why things are the way that it is in our culture. So now words, symbols, everything in this room, all of us has a frequency signature. Plain and simple. Everything that has ever existed has a frequency signature. And the whole thing is you need to resonate with that signature. You need to match the signature. So when the Vive is created, this is what they're trying to do. You have the Vive created first, and then the ritual begins. So what you need to understand also, just like the Bible, the Quran, ancient Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, same thing, voodoo. You have stories. And a lot of people are confused about this. This is what gets people caught up the most. The stories of the Bible, the stories in ancient Egyptian mythology, same thing in voodoo, because all the stuff is the same. It's stories to give you an understanding about the energy you're trying to summon.